welcome to Minute 79.
Thank you.
How is your relationship with ice?
It is a don't know what you got till it's gone situation, in that I value it highly, but not as highly as when I'm in Europe.
Yeah, they don't do ice over there.
And I understand, let's be specific and say the UK, for example. I understand that they are further away from the equator than we are in this country, save for, I think, Alaska. I think that's the only lat line that lines up with the UK. Is that right? But Alaska is probably the colder portion of this country and would be aligned with their take on ice, I think, in that it's so prevalent. Why on earth would you provide it with your beverages? Sonny, may I ask about your relationship with ice?
I do appreciate it in my beverage. I like a lot of ice. I've recently switched from your pebble or nugget ice to a more traditional cube when I have a choice, because I found myself not chewing on the ice and I wanted it to stay ice longer, which I think a traditional cube does a better job of. A student at school told me the other day that you're supposed to drink room temperature water because cold water messes with the pH, and I don't believe that, but maybe that's me being naive. But I like cold water.
I think you can have as much cold water as you like as long as you're also eating warm celery.
Oh, that's the equation. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. I will add warmed celery to my diet to compensate. Thank you. Have you ever slipped on ice? Has ice ever been a hazard for you and yours?
I'd say every winter, yes.
Every winter?
There was a gap there where it did not happen, but for the last few, I've had some kind of slip and fall every winter.
Is this you? I'm picturing what I know about your home and other frequented places. Is this you leaving the studio? That seems like an ice hazard kind of area. You got some stairs over there. You got some pavement. You got some smooth areas without a lot of handrails and stuff.
It definitely is a treacherous journey, albeit a short one during the winter months. But there's also something to be said for visiting any place that is not part of my routine. So if I'm going to, I'll give you an example from this last winter where I bled over some colleagues that were in town. We were at a WeWork facility, and because that's not a part of my typical routine, I don't actually know how icy that building or the surrounding sidewalks or any of that get. So if it's unfamiliar, it can sometimes be misleading. And you would think that you would be more cautious, and I tend to be, but sometimes you can go as slow as you like and you still lose your balance.
To be fair, WeWork should not hire a child to spray down the walkway with water every day during the winter.
But if you have that much capital to burn, why not?
You gotta blaze through that VC money while you got it, right? We got
It's
all this
about
cash.
top line.
What do? I don't know. Hire a kid to wet the sidewalk all year? All year. WeWork. What is sidewalks in town? I have totaled a car on some ice before, going very slowly, but the ice hit my car just right to slam it into the curve and bend the frame of my car.
It is something that is a point of contention between people in, let's say, the Southeast, for example, and far more snowy places like New York or Chicago.
Yes, the why can't you guys drive in the snow criticism.
Right, which is a misnomer because it has very little to do, if any, with being able to drive in the snow. It has everything to do with having no infrastructure preventing the roads from icing.
Agreed. 2014, tough lesson. Snowpocalypse.
Was that the year?
Yeah, February 2014, I think.
Do you have my car was left on I-75 after driving for 12 hours story that you can share with the listeners?
Nothing so dramatic, but I definitely spent about 2 hours driving home on what is usually a 20, 30-minute commute, and then not being able to get up like the last hill to my house and having to walk the rest of the way home. So nothing too bad. And I remember not having any food at the house, but the restaurants on the town square were still open. So we just walked down and got dinner. And we were okay. Went and got my car the next day or 2 days after, whenever we could drive again.
Do you feel like people would have had a better attitude about it if there had been some oboe in the background?
I thought it was clarinet. It's oboe? You're probably right.
It might be clarinet. I'm not really hearing it in my head right now. I'm hearing just generic woodwind.
We're hearing a woodwind of some sort. Yeah, I only bring up our relationship with ice and its hazards because like you at your WeWork and Cliff Burton, the Wet Bandits are struggling with some ice in this minute, slipping and sliding away.
Would you say that is actually ample summarization of this minute?
Yeah, I was wondering how I would summarize this minute for everyone. And Marv goes down some stairs and slips. And then Harry tries to get up the same stairs that he just slipped off of, and he slips again. And then Marv slips some more. And that's our minute. It's just two bandits versus frozen water.
Yeah, I applaud your efforts because I think your summary there is longer than the stage directions for this minute.
There's some great stuff going on in this minute, but in terms of plot advancement, not a lot here. I think we have the same clip of antics as we did last minute. We see both bandits get sort of, their bells get rung about once apiece. Maybe Marv is twice if we count the crowbar, but that's his own doing.
How would you describe the sounds Marv makes as he's going down the stairs? Because this doesn't seem right intellectually, but for some reason I feel really strongly about the word zigzag.
Yeah, it's a zigzaggy vocalization. I don't even know if I could recreate it, but it's like a...
It's pretty dynamic, yes. It's punctuated and gives you an auditory reinforcement that this is him going down a set of hard, cornered stairs.
I really appreciate the face he's making when he finally lands at the bottom, because it's cut in a way and his facial expression says he's like surprised to be there. And I love the language of it because we have some remarkable stunt work going on in this minute too. But that's clearly a stunt man going down the stairs. So when we cut to Marv landing, it's like he's surprised of where he is because he, as the actor, didn't go down the stairs. He's got this face like what just happened? It's like, well, the stunt man went down the stairs and now we're going to put you in the shot.
I love that you see it that way.
He looks surprised to be where he is.
Maybe I'm just too trusting of them at this point. But to me, in universe, the face makes just as much sense in that he just felt and experienced way more than he anticipated.
Sure.
Even after a slip, he sees the distance between himself and the door downstairs. It's very short. He thinks it's going to be one way and then it's the other, but he also feels every step, including the bottom.
Yeah. No, yours is the correct interpretation. And Marv even kind of braces himself before he starts walking down the stairs. So there's that little beat.
Yes.
He kind of takes a breath and then starts going down. So it's like he almost like even knew something was coming, right? Maybe he's still reeling from the BB gun shot, but he kind of like steels himself to go down the stairs. And it turns out that he really did need to brace himself because they are icy.
But the tempo is just perfect. That hit, pause, ow.
It is really good. And the whole sequence of him down at the bottom in front of the door is so brilliant. And which is why I think we don't get a whole lot of plot going on here, because Daniel Stern does such a great piece of physical comedy trying to just stand up on this tiny slab of concrete where his feet have no purchase, and he's using the crowbar to like pull himself up. And there's the reverse shot from the other side of the door where he's like peeking in.
he's peering. He's very much peering, and he looks around, and we get the fall from that angle, which makes it funnier.
Mm-hmm.
And as you had mentioned previously, his fall is doubled by his crowbar falling after him.
Such a beautiful piece of punctuation there.
Which I do wonder if that was scripted, because it feels like it could just as likely be a happy accident.
It doesn't look like an accident to me. And in fact, I think it might be like one of the reasons that they do cut to that reverse shot from inside the house, so they can cut back to this moment where the crowbar's dangling there and drops. If that's all in one shot, this might be a little harder to orchestrate, but the cut lets them pull it off, if that makes sense. But let's see. Let's go to the screenplay. There's a little piece of profanity in the script when Harry falls down, falls to his 3-letter word and slips into the bushes. Here's Marv. Marv starts down the stairs. Ice again. One step and Marv's legs go out from under him. Through the window, we see Marv fly down the ice stairs. He hits the basement door with a wham. The crowbar clangs. He pulls himself up a beat and he falls again. Then Harry grabs a porch pillar and climbs back onto the porch. He straddles the pillar and the door as he tries to reach the knob. And then back to Marv. Marv jams a crowbar in the door and cracks it open. And Harry pushes off the pillar, slides toward the door, doesn't quite make it, starts to slide back, steps forward, and falls on his face. So yeah, that little extra crowbar clang is just the way they choreographed it on set, I guess. I like it.
Maybe we should chat with some folks who were there and figure out which bits were just the beauty of making something together.
Yeah, who decided to let it happen this way? It's interesting that in the script, we're watching from inside the house Marv fall down the stairs, and that might have proven too hard to shoot, but they still had that setup of being able to shoot that, which I wonder, like, I know the interior stuff, most of the interiors are a set. I wonder if this small little exterior part is part of a set, because it seems like it's those like concrete brick walls on the sides. But then on another shot, it looks like they've got the camera where the wall would have been. So were they just able to angle it in, or were they able to like pull that wall away because it's a set? I don't know.
Which wall are you thinking about?
Like when Marv's falls down the stairs are sort of like, enclosed off with like those concrete or brick walls, like going all the way down. But they do a couple angles. They shoot them from overhead, which is fun. Mm-hmm. And they shoot them from what looks to be like kind of like the middle of the stairs, like shooting down at them. And of course they shoot them from inside the house too. But there's one shot where it seems like the camera's just right beside him. Like it's down on the same level as him as he's like, clawing up with the crowbar and pulled himself up. And I wonder if that part was a set, because it seems like they wouldn't be able to get a camera down there with them and still shoot it. It would be too close to them.
Right, like that would be the stair portion of the set.
Yeah, they can just
like
pull it away.
Exterior, but not actual exterior of like the set. I see what you're saying. Yeah, that angle. Because when I see the like above angle, like the very opening of this, like the pan up the stairs.
Oh, yeah.
The above, those feel... In fact, the above, the like straight vertical one feels almost necessary because it's a proper exterior.
Yeah, I love
that
shot.
And they can't get in the well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. But then they're also down there too. I love that overhead shot too. Like it reminds me of like art class when my teacher was showing us all how to do like 1-point perspective, and all like the lines are kind of like, Marv is the vanishing point because all the lines of the brick walls and the door and the stairs, like it's all pointing to him. He's right there in the middle. I love it. I think it's a really cool shot.
Good t-shirt phrase there for us, I think. Marv is the vanishing point.
Like a Da Vinci sketch of like all the lines pointing to poor Marv crouched down on the ice.
We should not overlook the only bit of dialogue in this minute, which, if I'm hearing it correctly...
Yeah.
is Harry saying, "That smart aleck"?
Yeah, I think it's an important line, weirdly.
It's full of ego.
Say more.
Harry isn't just trying to climb some icy stairs, and he isn't just trying to steal all of the cash hoards that he will find in this silver tuna. He is proving to himself and to Kevin and possibly the world that Kevin isn't that clever. But not just in a vacuum, but not that clever relative to Harry.
So it's turned into a battle of wits in a way. They're playing a chess match, and Kevin's won the first 2 rounds. I'm mixing metaphors here, but
it is that. Because if you told Harry in this moment that by some magical happenstance this house was empty right now, I think he would still be going up the stairs with the same level of vigor.
What it reveals to me is that Kevin has shot Harry and Marv with a BB gun, but some icy steps may just be a circumstance. But when he calls Kevin a smart aleck, it's an admission, an acknowledgement that he knows Kevin's the one who iced down the steps. That was a purposeful ploy to cause pain to Harry.
It's going right up to the line, right? Like, it's admitting the effort, admitting the skill and the success in the execution, but not admitting that he got him.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a, oh, good move. It's a, oh, you think that's a good move.
Yeah.
Which you say because it is a good move.
It's interesting to frame it like that because I don't think there's any point in the movie where Harry concedes any respect to Kevin. He doesn't acknowledge at any point like, oh, yeah, you got us. Way to go. It's like this, so far at least, it's this constant like, here's this idiot kid. Surely we can overpower, outsmart, outwit him at every turn. It proves not to be the case because Kevin knows the power of ice. The good ice.
The nugget ice.
You know what I'm talking about. The nice pebbly stuff from Chick-fil-A. Not those guys in masks.
Though it does sound like you are a bit of a turncoat there, going with the cubes.
Oh, with the pebble ice, the Chick-fil-A ice, the good ice. I acknowledge it's the good ice. It's what I'd prefer to chew on. But throughout my work day, I don't really have that luxury of taking the top off and chew it on the ice. So I've changed over to the traditional cubes when I have the chance.
So in that sense, you're more like the wet bandits in that the ice is chewing on you.
Something like that, yeah.
Do we give Harry a little bit of credit here? Because anytime I watch this, I go, that second time he walked right into it.
It is an interesting repeat of what we just saw happen. Like, did you not realize that the steps have continued to be icy?
But as I've discovered in my own life, you can be as cautious as you like in icy environs and still find yourself on your posterior.
And you don't have a well-paid stuntman to take the fall for you.
Yet.
I like that mindset.
It's on my vision board.